Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Welcome to Paranormal Outlaws. I am the Hitman. Tonight we will not have the Hangman on, but we do have the Renegade is in the house. Everyone say hello to the Renegade.
Hello, everyone.
What's going on, my sister from another mother?
Just living. Doing good.
Right. I
Right?
feel you. It's a good night, and I want to say hello to all the travelers who are tuning in and everybody that may be tuning in. Welcome to Paranormal Outlaws. We usually have our brother, the Cowboy, Keith Ottersberg, but he is not in the house tonight. He is at a class reunion. And I don't know why I'm putting on an accent.
He's out strutting his stuff.
Right,
being a
right.
Peacock.
Being a peacock.
Being a peacock, strutting out.
That's right. And we were going to have our original new host come on tonight, but he's stuck somewhere that he don't need to be getting out of.
Nope. Ride it till you lose. Then ride it. Just keep riding it.
That's right. Drop the dice and
Yep.
pull the lever or hit a button. He's doing his thing. So he called me about 8 o'clock, said, dude, I'm not going to make it. I was like, dude, if you're still cha-chinging and you're making the bucks, keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly. Lady Luck is on his side, so ride it till she rides no more.
That's right. That's right. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in from YouTube and Twitch and Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Thank you all. This is, of course, our monthly show. We're a week ahead, but we're a week ahead for a reason. Hey, there's my brother. My brother Kenny is in the house.
Hi, Kenny.
The man is saying y'all aren't going to be on until 1 a.m. What? We have been doing, we've been known to go hours.
Exactly,
So,
we could.
but yeah, we still decide to still go on air tonight and talk, because this is a pretty cool subject we're going to talk about tonight is cryptics. And it's not very often that her and I just get to talk one-on-one, and this is a good opportunity. Hello, Kenny. And anybody else that's out there, hello and welcome.
Yes.
Thank you for joining in. Feel free to chime in as you wish. Tonight we are talking about cryptics, and the Renegade's got a lot of great information. We're going to trade some. We're going to think about it. What do you think about when you hear cryptic, you guys?
Exactly.
When you hear cryptid, what do you think? So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. It may not be all what you think. It's not going to be, we're not going to dive into every type of cryptid, because we really are going to be focusing on the legend of what we know is Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Skunk Ape, Rogu, whatever you want to call it, Yeti. And these are our opinions. We're not experts, but we're just talking about it. We're giving insight. But as always, Renee has got the info, so she will be sharing her findings, and I will be talking about last weekend. Some of the stuff we found out, all those good stuff like that too. Spent a lot of good time, or the weekend before last, with Daniel Benoit, who is the president of the ECBRO, which is the East Coast Bigfoot Association. So we'll be talking about that. Clips Ley lines is cryptic. Ley lines are not cryptic. No,
Nope.
they are not. Cryptid is defined by a living creature or spiritual creature.
But I'd love to see a map with the lines and see where sightings have been, maybe.
Now, maybe that's what he was talking about. Um, you know, crossing these ley lines, comparatively speaking, to sightings and experiences.
Mm-hmm.
It's an idea. I mean, look, they already do it with ufology. They do it with paranormal. So what
Exactly.
would be any different with cryptozoology?
Exactly. That's always been something in the back of my mind, and I pretty good with research. I pretty much can almost find anything or
Hmm.
anybody, I should say too. I've never come across if anybody's done it, and if anybody has found anything, I'd love to look at it.
Right. Yeah, and you know what? He just brought up a good point about the tail of Devil's Den. All right, now that's a good point, Kenny. I cannot take that away from you. First of all, I have to admit, I feel like Bray Wyatt. Somebody give me some fireflies. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I would grab my white sheep mask, but that might be too much.
Hey, wouldn't that be cool if we did a show based on like a Bray Wyatt stop?
I think it'd be
You know
interesting.
what just happened?
Bing!
Brain blast.
Yep.
I got another idea. Bring out the fireflies, and we're gonna firefly tails. No firefly. You know what? It's there. I love the idea. Anyway, so Kenny just brought up the fact. Robert just brought up the idea, the thought of Devil's Den. Now, do you know the history and why it's called Devil's Den?
I want to say yes, but it's not on the tip of my tongue. I'm sure I have.
All right. Well, just fill in where I f it up.
Okay.
So pre Civil War, pre the war there, the two kids were playing in the rocks. And as they was playing in the rocks in Devil's Den,
Mm-hmm.
of course, it wasn't called Devil's Den then. But the story goes, the kids came across a big, huge black snake that was crawling amongst the rocks. And this snake started talking to them and telling them not so good things. So they ran off and ran to their mother and told her what was going on. And a bunch of town folk came out to the rocks. Didn't find anything, but that's how the legend of Devil's Den came about originally. That's how it got started. Then, of course, then it took up its nickname during the Battle of Gettysburg. But it's intriguing to me. The more I'm thinking about this, more I would like this show. I'm liking an idea. Oh my God. All right.
Oh boy.
Right?
Oh boy.
Ooh, Firefly Chronicles.
Yeah, the flyer flag. Yeah, yeah.
I like that idea. That we just may have created a whole new show, folks,
Oh boy. Here we
about the
go.
weird and strange in the world today. What do you
Mm-hmm.
think, Renee? Should we pull that out?
I think
Make
we
it
should.
another.
Sure, why not? That sounds like a fun one.
Yeah,
Talk about stories of regions of lore and things like that.
I like it. I think this is something that's. Look, we just created a show right here.
Yep.
We
See,
got to bring
folks,
my.
easy as that. Like that.
It's that easy. This is how we do it. That's how the madness is created. And maybe we can get Kenny to come on with us on those. That would be
Oh
cool.
boy. It would
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. So he's throwing out a bunch of things. He's asking about Mothman.
Mothman cryptid.
Cryptid.
Definitely.
Yep. Mothman is definitely cryptid. Loch Ness is cryptid. Anything that's living creature other than human. Well, some humanoids. We're getting ready to talk about Bigfoot.
Yeah,
Is it a
Bigfoot,
humanoid?
New Jersey Devil. I mean, the whole origin of Jersey Devil is, was mother gave birth to a child and it had wings and claws and looked like the devil, and they
Had
cast it out.
horse. That's right.
So
Had horse foot or horse. Damn it.
yeah, I think it was horse feet
Hooves.
and had like some kind of wing or tail ish, something of that sort.
Right. Yeah.
And that time it was cast out like, oh my no, like put it into the forest to let it die, but never died. So
Yeah. It flew off
flew off.
and then started terrorizing the area.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's the myth and lore too. And I think a show based on something like that would be really cool. Because this show is not specifically to that. This is Paranormal Outlaws. These are our opinions. This is what we think and how we feel. And we're pretty open about what we feel and say. And there can be any topic that we drop on, but usually it's paranormal. Chop the damn Mexico wife thing.
You mean the chupacabra?
Chupacabra. He's
Is it
got
the
to be talking about
chupacabra?
Chupacabra. Are you doing voices, Teach?
which then ties into Plum Island in Jersey, that famous picture that everyone has seen of whatever dog, pig.
Well, that's another subject altogether right there. The island of Dr. Monroe, What are they doing? That's the different things. Wolf, yeah. Okay, Wolf. So yeah, he's talking about Chupa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about Chupa.
The bloodsucker.
Yep, the bloodsucker. Now, they think they have figured it out. It's not a dog. It's actually it's a form of cat. I know, cat, dog. But yeah, it is a form of cat that looks to have the body of a dog. But this animal's been around for thousands of years too, and they're just signifying it. I mean, look, we got a freaking shark out there that's larger than any great white. Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Look how deep the ocean is. Who knows? Right. Look at all the creepy crawly stuff they're pulling up out of the black abyss.
Now, is that because? Go ahead.
No, because it's like we haven't 1/10 of it. I guarantee you, we haven't even discovered.
Exactly. Well, let's go to the other side real quick. Could it be that, or could it that the possibility of two planes mixing? Could we be crossing timelines and things are actually coming to foresight?
I mean, could be. I mean, a lot of people sit there with Bigfoot and Mothman and the Jersey Devil as portal could open up and they walk through. I mean, and that's why it's so hard to find anything, because they're crossing between timelines. It could be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
endless amount of possibilities.
Yeah.
That's where we're heading at. So tonight, we're going to jump into Bigfoot, and we're going to get thoughts. We're going to listen to you guys. We're going to give our opinions and talk about it. Now, before we went on air, the Renegade was giving me some good stuff. I'm going to hand it on over to her. And let's get talking about Bigfoot, Yeti, Rogu, whatever your name is for this.
Whatever your flavor of Bigfoot name that you call it.
Yeah, and even if it's Bigfoot, here's another thing we're going to talk about tonight. So go ahead, Renee. You take it away.
All right. So in my research, I found something, because I've always had a theory about him, and nobody's ever really. I have never found anybody to say that definitely, or say, you know what, that's a possibility with me. So I found on this website, which, by the way, is the Washington National Air Guard. So that's government, by the way. They have said they're talking about all of the, the common names of Bigfoot, which, because you have Sasquatch, which comes from Salish Squatchets, which is from the Algonquin. Okay. Then you've got the north central part of the region, which that's the Wendigo that they call him. And then there's the North Plains, which kind of goes with my theory of their believing of him. It's the Ojibwe, if I'm saying it right, believe that it's the Ragu, appears in times of danger, and other nations, Indian nations, agreed that the hairy apparition was a messenger of warning, telling man to change his ways. Which a lot of Native Americans believed he was an apparition or was a spirit.
Yeah, I kind of believe in that a little bit. I mean, look at the time we're living in right now.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really start to become really well known till what, the 60s, right?
Yeah, 60s with the film.
Yeah, so
The 1960s.
here we are, and we're experiencing this unusual creature. Now, like we talked about before, the possibility of it being something we don't even know exists, okay? They've already confirmed that there was another humanoid species outside of what we already knew of, caveman. Let's not get all technical, but, now there is another one that said that species was highly intelligent. So, what about the possibility of this creature being something that it's really earthly based still, but it's maybe it comes from, maybe it's an underdweller. Maybe
Could
they
be.
come from caves.
Could be. I mean, there's a theory right now that I've been watching that people, because we all know people are waking up, spiritually and other ways, and they're starting to see some things, like for example in the Grand Canyon, that's emulating what's over in Egypt.
Right. That they
So
can't find anymore.
And you
right.
can't find any more over here because of, obviously natural weathering and all this and pollution and all that. So, I mean, there's a rock over there that looks like the Sphinx. And what do you have in Egypt?
Right.
So people are starting to see that too. So who knows? I mean, it's endless possibilities. That's like one of the top 5 theories about him is that he's this Earth, like you said, lower Earth dwelling that maybe is, not saying like mole people, but but there's just he's in the ground.
It is
that's
a possibility.
The reason why it's so hard to find him.
I mean, maybe if you go looking, you'll find that the government has put out that it is an endangered species covered by the government. Mm-hmm. There's also talk that, this whole has to do with the government trying to cover it up because, A, it is an endangered species. They don't want people going out and hunting this creature because this creature needs to exist. Did you hear what I said there, you folks?
Yep.
It needs to exist. So we have a bunch of interesting possibilities. Something I did learn the other weekend when I was at the Virginia Bigfoot convention was this. We're always in the woods. We're always going to think that we're going to see it on ground level. Why aren't we looking into the trees? If it's a primate, maybe it's not underground. Maybe it's up in the trees and they could check us out from there. It's like I don't want to say predator, but some people have considered this thing a possible predator species too.
I mean, Bob Goldthwait, which we know as he's a comedian from the 80s and movie star from the 80s. He is a humongous Bigfoot nut.
Really?
Huge, where he wrote a movie. It's kind of tongue in cheek a little bit because you kind of have to, but it takes like this almost Blair Witchy kind of story. So down, women are disappearing. They're campers, like there's lots of things, and so it's shot in that kind of style. But Bob he's a huge Bigfooter, huge, and I never knew that. I caught him on Joe Rogan talking about it and promoting his movie.
Oh, it is funny how how intelligent he actually is.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. I mean, his onstage presence and his persona is goofy.
Yep.
But in real life, I mean, he does have the stuttering, but he's brilliant. His
Yeah, he
thought
is.
process is really outside of what needs to be said.
Yeah, and he's a huge Bigfooter, like huge. And I never knew that. And I checked out the movie. It's a little tongue in cheek. It reminds me a little, the way that it's shot, Blair Witchy style. But the premise is there, and it's with the premise of him being an apex predator.
Right. And that's my point.
So,
I mean, could it be that, I don't want to put a negative spin on this subject,
Yep,
but you were just talking about it and we alluded to it, and it's still a predator. We don't know that it just eats berries.
exactly.
We don't know that it just eats and it's just a scavenger. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me bring Molly out. She's like getting all nervous.
We're talking about Bigfoot. She wants to come out and protect and make sure Biggie ain't behind you.
Yeah. You would say hi. Careful, burn your nose, baby. Yeah, sorry, y'all. I had to let Molly out. Big girl. It's a baby, big girl. 13 years old. 13-year-old lab. And a baby. Careful, careful, careful. So, if we look at the bigger picture of things, anything is possible. We don't know. It's just like what I've been saying about the paranormal for 2 years.
Yep.
We don't know a damn thing about the paranormal. We think we do. We have possible theories, possible tools. EMF may be detecting one of 1,000 different types of spirits or ghosts. We don't know.
We don't.
But it's interesting. Now, you brought up Wendigo.
Yes.
And that's seen in two different ways. The first way, of course, is some people consider that Bigfoot. Well, it's actually three. Hey, Dwayne, how are you?
Dwayne, there's another big squatcher right there.
Right? Yeah, another one right there. So we have Bigfoot, we have a skinwalker, and we have werewolf, all connected to the name Wendigo. Now, that has been around for hundreds of years as well. Not only did the Native Americans use that terminology, but so did Midwesterns.
Yep.
So here we are looking at these amazing ideas and sharing it. And of course, that's what this show's about too: is sharing ideas and possibilities and give opinions. There has to be a reason why we've never seen it before. I mean, pure evidence. Okay, thousands and thousands of people have seen it. Cannot deny that. And it's not all on the West Coast. If you look on the sighting map, sorry, folks, the West Coast may have and started it all, but I can tell you, if you look on the East Coast side, there are sightings, thousands and thousands of sightings from, if I remember correctly, South Carolina all the way up to Maryland, West Virginia, through Virginia. And it's like Virginia has a really large mass of sightings. Now, I can share some stories with y'all tonight if you're interested. Renee, can you see what Dwayne's saying?
Dwayne says the long and short of this is, with the recent disclosure of our government accepting things from another planet.
Which
I mean, that has been a theory. UFOs and a sighting. I mean, some people have seen lights in the sky and he's present.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Robert says up here, for me, I'm an explorer of the unknown. Scares the hell out of me, but who else is going to look other than people of like-minded?
Mm-hmm.
And I agree.
Yeah.
Rob's right there. Robert is right.
And then Dwayne says these things are merely extraterrestrial pets that are getting dropped off the Earth, quote unquote, dog park to grab something to eat, go poop, pee, and then they pick them up and leave. I've said that. I've said that too.
You have. You've said that.
I said that too.
Now, here's the other thing. And we're looking at all possibilities, you guys. So please don't try to come out and go, well, you're wrong. It is our opinions and the opinions of the fans and people here. Um, I'm going to say, is there a possibility, since there's so many different types of them, that not all of them are the same? I mean, could
Exactly.
it be that? Could it be that some of these are true aliens? They could be scouts.
Could be.
Possibility.
Could be.
We talked about land dwelling at the beginning of the show, underground dwellers. Um, I know Daniel Benoit spoke about look to the trees. Um, so look at all these amount of possibilities that we're giving out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a good point of thinking. Open your mind and open your eyes.
I mean, who's not to say government got involved somehow, and we have one, and who's to say we didn't play with DNA and make a hybrid? You
Anything's
know,
possible.
anything is at this point, anything's possible.
Look, when did they write Frankenstein and Vampire? You know, that was what 200 years ago.
Yeah, oh,
They
yeah.
wrote that, and they say if the mind, if it can think it, it can create it.
Which
Just
is,
saying.
and I always said too. One thing is like with the Mothman, because it's such a lore, and it's then you have the festival that's at Point Pleasant, and it's like you're feeding it energy.
Yeah.
So, are you making it? So
Mhm.
then it's I mean, a tulpa of sorts. Are we making it because it's one thing or something that was seen, and then it's just, oh my God, nope, they're lying to us, or they're keeping something from us, and then we keep feeding it and giving it energy and more, and because you have thousands, millions, billions of people.
That's something that's going around the paranormal field too. But go ahead and read Dwayne his statement about let's all the total realize that
Okay,
then.
so Dwayne says, let's all totally realize that Earth is the type of planet when you fly by it, you have to roll up your windows.
That's why I want it red, because he's right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're the hood at this point. We're definitely the hood right now. Um, Robert says true thought. Dwayne says great question. Then Dwayne comes back and says we don't know what we don't know.
We don't.
You're right.
Because we don't.
Exactly. Now Lisa's on. Hey, Miss Lisa, thank you for joining up tonight. She says manifesting maybe. Now that was my point. I was going with this.
I mean,
now for hundreds of years we've been doing paranormal research. It may not have always been called paranormal. It may have been called spiritual. We've got to look at demonology, okay? But it's been progressing for the last 200 years, okay? Mm-hmm. Research and evidence has been progressing slowly. Einstein and Tesla both said, we're not going to understand the paranormal. And these are their words. Until you take science and spirituality and able to connect them together, then you will understand, and you will understand how this all works. Until then, we're not. And I agree with them. Because there's too many people that still don't believe and understand quantum physics. If you don't understand it, then you're not going to understand, some of the physics that goes with this. Manifesting. That's why I wanted to bring that up with the word that Lisa just used. Could we, since we are doing all of this research, spirituality, etc., may be manifesting these actions? Are we manifesting spirits? Are we manifesting ghosts? Could we be manifesting these creatures?
I mean, like we said, we don't know. We really don't know.
Mm-hmm. But it's an endless amount of possibilities, and the possibilities are there. Robert says there's a legend of a war between the Clarions and the Atlanteans. Thank you. When the contents were to gather, and these creatures are remnants of the war. Where can we go wrong? Even in the Bible, It says that there was creatures outside of the Garden of Eden.
Exactly.
You know, how do we know the Garden of Eden weren't two cells to begin with? We don't know. But we are human, so we are flawed to make mistakes.
Exactly. Because we're made, we're, human flesh suit. We're not gods. We're human flesh suits that make mistakes on a daily
Ex-
basis.
on a daily basis.
Hourly race, minutes, seconds. We
Hmm.
could do that if you really want to fight it to that end of it.
Exactly. Calm down. You need to go back
And
inside.
let's see. So Dwayne
We're
says, I apologize
not
up
going outside
front
right
for
now.
this
We already been
rant.
outside.
We as humans are killing ourselves. Agreed. When I ask somebody where they're from, they yell to me, Mexico, Scotland, Africa, etc. Which, yes. And here's the thing, I'm I'm very big on knowing where you come from.
Mhm.
But if you ask me, like, I'm American. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? My ancestors
Right.
were everybody. So like you know what I mean? So but everybody is so needing to I put into a peg hole. I'm Mexican. I'm a Spaniard. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm from Germany. I'm German. I'm English. I'm Scottish. I'm Irish. I'm Welsh. Like it's so, you know what I mean?
No,
And
it's great to know your history and where you're coming from, but that's
yep,
not who you are right now.
exactly. It's not who you are.
I like this because this would be Dwayne's show. This show right here
Yeah.
is a show that Dwayne needs to be a part of because he can openly flow. I've
Hmm.
known him for 3 years now, and he likes to express. And I'm like, this is the show to do it.
Yeah.
As long as no host or anybody's offended, free flow your thought. That's what it's
Exactly.
about.
I'm the last person you worry about being offended. Check your feelings
Exactly.
at the door. I don't
Right.
agree with you. That's good. I know what I never bothered to look at it that way. Or hey, you know what? You've sparked my interest. I'm going to go look into that for me. That's
Exactly.
how I am.
He puts out there, I apologize up front for this rant. We as humans are killing ourselves. When I ask somebody where they're from, this is what you were referring to.
Yep.
And that's a good point. He then goes, I then asked them to back up a little bit and tell me again where you're from. And when they still get it wrong, I asked them to stand on the moon and tell me where you're from. Oh, this is good, Dwayne.
Mm,
We are all from the same pasture. That's the Mother Earth. We need to
mm.
stop putting
Selves in
ourselves in a
boxes.
box.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Once you put yourself in a box, the people in the other box will
Yeah.
disagree with you.
Thank you. Somebody
Well,
sees it like I do. I love it.
yeah. I love this. Robert says we are going deep night, y'all. Saturday night campfire talk. That's kind of like that's paranormal
Yeah.
outlaws. We pretty much around the bonfire, the campfire, and we talk our opinions, and we may talk some shit. But you know what? That's why we're here. Dwayne's, I'm here, and thank you for the props. Yeah, absolutely, man. I
Hey.
mean, this is probably the show you would really want to catch because it's what it's all about. And Rob's right. This is like a campfire setting. We talk. Usually it's just myself, Keith, and Renee. We got another one, so that's four of us that ride together now. And you'll see the new poster coming out. But we encourage all of you guys to come join us around the fire and talk shit. That's
Exactly.
what we're good at. And, we get to free flow. Our minds get to talk. I know we all have our own shows, but, at this time, this show, this really allows me just to chit chat and I can feed off of them. And that's what it's about.
Yep.
I'm a deep thinker and very much a realist and call things just like I see them. And that's okay. And that's
Yeah.
exactly it.
Exactly.
I mean, we're not all going to agree with each other, and that's okay.
Yeah,
Holy
that's
shit, who
fine.
said it wasn't okay?
Exactly. It's always been fine. It's just that they've redefined it,
Yeah.
and it is.
My
And
stars
then
went away.
oh boy.
my
So and then
my
he also
my
says, he says, please all you guys take what I said and run that across every other person you meet. I will. I mean, I do. In actuality, I do say like, "Hey, like, where are you from?"
Yeah.
You know, I
I
didn't say
mean,
who you're from. I ask you where you're from.
so here's the thing that made, okay, this is one thing that it's going to upset a lot of people, but let's look at facts and let's get a realization. Then we're going to take it from Egypt and come back. Okay. Because
Yep.
that's really what this is all about. Every single person in the world has 3% African American in them. I don't give a damn who you are. Every single one of us. So if we're rooted from Middle East, okay, now saying that, I'm going to let you read what he just put and then I'll move forward.
All right. So he goes, absolutely love the show. Love this format. You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you. I've grown up with my parents labeling me as Polish. I've always labeled myself as a human. Again, we're all from the same big, glorious, big, beautiful ball, which is the truth.
Exactly. And that's what I just said. And thank you for saying that. And that's a good point.
Yep.
Now we take Egyptian culture. Let's step back in time of what the subject we were just talking about. Now there is a lot of forms of their gods that some would even consider are our cryptics today. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
look at the pyramid guards. Look at the imperial guards. Look at Ra himself. Now, if we move forward today, we're seeing what possibly could be these creatures, or
Mm-hmm.
has social media and our imaginations grown to the point where we are started to either manifest, create these creatures, or is our minds just thinking we're seeing them now because of all the movies, because of TV? This is why I don't watch TV when it comes to the paranormal. I
Yeah.
don't want my mind manipulated and thinking I'm seeing something I'm not. Plain and simple.
I mean, and
And
I
it's
grew. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's not that I don't like what they're doing. I some of them are assholes and some of them aren't. That's right. I said it out loud. Um, and that's by choice. Some of them have grown up and learned, and some of them aren't. But it's still entertainment. Now, if we go to horror movies and stuff, that stuff gets bombarded into your subconscious. Yeah, you got to think about how much that. Look at kids who get scared. The boogeyman's underneath the bed. Where in the hell did that come from? They learned that.
Yep, they
They
learned that.
learned that because that's a German folktale.
Yeah, that German folktale, yes, but then you also like up here on the eastern coast, where you have my family, my grandfather's family come from Maine, and it's the Wabanaki tribe of Maine. I mean,
Right.
there's this, and the story emulates those Appalachian mountains too. You don't go into the forest at night.
That's where I'm at right now.
You
Hmm.
the Wabanaki, you pull down, you cut, you put, curtains over your windows, you pull your shades down, and if you're hearing stuff, you don't open the shades, because you got the red eyes, and it's the red eyes of the Wabanaki that are coming to take you into the forest.
And you don't whistle.
And you don't whistle, and if they're yelling your name, you don't yell either for it.
Okay, now I'm glad you said that. Hold on. Let's
Yes.
talk about this. You
Yep.
guys, you're gonna love this little story I have for you because the gentleman who was supposed to be on tonight experienced this with me the other weekend with our friends to our pre Jam Jam Squash event. Right. This is why we couldn't get a full Jam Jam in. What I'm about to tell you. I wish he was here. He could tell the story better. But before I go any further, I'm going to hand it back over to you. I want you to read out to what Dwayne said, and then I'll follow up on it.
Okay. I offer no apologies to people I that want to put themselves in a box and segregate themselves. I feel bad for them. Then he says, white, black, red, green, blue. I can give two craps in the screw of the color and what you think you are in the little niche of the planet. We're all in this together, which is true.
Right.
And then he goes, bad joke time. If the buggies under the buggies under the bed when it comes to children, don't you know boogers are under the bed? Yeah. I mean, I'll admit it. I'm gonna say I'm 45 years old. My feet are not uncovered
Yeah.
because ever since I was like a little girl of hearing the Wabanaki, I was like, oh my god, anything. So my feet, to this day, I'm still their socks on and blankets are wrapped around because you ain't dragging me down anywhere. I ain't
Right.
going nowhere.
I hear you. Now, Dwayne said he'd be a guest anytime on our show. We'll definitely have you.
Yeah.
This particular show really doesn't have guests. You guys are our guests.
Mm-hmm.
You guys in chat are our guests. But, if there's some night we can bring you on, well, yeah, we're bringing on a live vid. We'll
Yep.
send you the link. Now, let me tell you about this story. So we had a great weekend. The convention was incredible. We had a great time. Now we led up to what we call Jam Jam Squash Squash. We're getting ready to do a squash hunt, late at night.
Need t-shirts made.
Yeah,
That's an awesome name.
we had set up camp at a particular campground that's not set up like majority of the campgrounds in Virginia by any means. All right, this is a real campground. We had set it up. We were just finishing up eating. I made beef stew through the Dutch oven. So I made traditional beef stew. We're all relaxing. The family members that came over had already left. And when we came in, Jim and Sam were over in a location, and it was closer to the entrance. Now they thought it was Hispanics, having a yelping and having a good time. Yeah, I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. Thanks for bringing that up, Kitty. But what happened is we found out through some of our family members that lived there that it was actually gypsies. And I was like, oh shit. And these gypsies would come in and stay there for months at a time and leave out. Okay. Gypsies don't bother me. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disrespecting gypsies. But I know about the heritage and I know about the myths and lores, okay? Now, I'm proud of Jim because he said something that night that made me realize he has grown in what he knows and thinks, etc. We were sitting there and we could hear them, and they were about a half mile away. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
After everybody had left, I was blowing up my air mattress, and Jimmy yelled out to me, told me, stop. I'm like, turned it off. Like, what's up? Britt was already out, and I heard a man yelling. So I came out the tent. Now, Jimmy's already drawn his pistol and lock and load, putting it on safety. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what's going on? He goes, dude, somebody just ran through the woods, kind of close, yelling help. And I went, interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. So
That's
here we are.
We
have gypsies close, and somebody's doing that. And I went, well, here we go. Mm-hmm. So I already carried blades with me anyway. So I had blades out, and I was like, we shouldn't leave the campsite. And Jimmy's like, hell no, we ain't going out now.
Agreed.
I was like, I agree. And I was like, well, why do you think? He goes, man, skinwalkers out there? Hell no, I ain't going. I'm like, he goes, that's all they would want us to do is to leave the campsite, get us one by one. And I went, he brought up skinwalker. Now, if you know anything about gypsies, and they were nude, yeah, one nude dude did run across the road. I didn't bring that up. Bells and everything. But the folklore of a skinwalker to a gypsy is completely different than most folklores. They are nasty energies, nasty creatures, okay? And Jim was right. And I was proud of him because he said that. Skinwalker, fae, whatever.
Yep.
Okay. So here we are. We're in the Appalachian Mountains, in the heart of the lore. We got Romanian gypsies right down the road. You think we left that campsite that
Oh,
night?
hell no.
Hell to the
No.
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 There was going to be no squashing anyway because they were all yelping it up and running through the woods.
Exactly.
Two, if it was a fae, if it was a skinwalker, not so good.
Nope.
Not good at all. So we actually kind of chilled out the site. We stayed up a little later, about 2 hours. We were able to get rest. You know, we didn't have anything come in our campsite. Nothing happened. But I damn well tell you what's going to happen from now on. I'm going to be stringing me up some cans for, outside perimeter alert. And all these things started bringing to my attention. I'm like, this makes a lot of sense. Bells and cans on your outside perimeter.
Yep.
Why do we not think about that? Right?
Yeah.
So let's jump back a little bit because I know Kenny. Wow, you guys really went.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I got it right here.
You got it?
Howie, I've said this a million times. I'm going to say it one more. Let's keep our minds not so open. The door, brains will fall out, and not so closed that nothing can get in, which is true.
Yeah.
And Dwayne, spell check sucks. It does. And so does fat thumbs. That's what I tell everybody. Let's see. Your Kenny says, Howie, can you tell I don't like open shaded windows at night because of what happened when you guys were kids?
Yeah. So that was about. I'm about to drop the F-bomb. I don't know if you've got it close to you, but go ahead and drop it. Yep, there it is. Yeah, I had received clownophobia, which I'm not going to give the technical term right now, because of an event that Kenny and I took place when we were kids. People trying to rob our parents. My parents were antique dealers. Oh, look at that! Holy mother, antique dealers.
Da-da.
Da-da.
Listen, but as you're talking about clowns,
Yeah, I know, right?
just saying. Just saying.
Cowboys in the house. So yeah. What is up, brother Keith? Let me get up the rest of these and we'll chit chat.
All right, and then so then Kenny agrees with Dwayne. Then Dwayne says, "Let's keep our mind." No, he says that again. We talked about that. He posted that again about keeping your mind open, but not too open, so our brains fall out, but not too close. Then Dwayne said, "Howie, be careful. I've already warned you about this."
Oh yeah.
And
absolutely.
Kenny's talking about nudie people, nudies.
The guy running through with the bells on. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Dwayne again saying, "Please be careful." And then
Absolutely.
Dwayne said, "Pull me in anytime as a guest. I absolutely love to talk to people who think for themselves."
Sure. Absolutely. And thanks, you guys. And no, we got brother Keith in the house. He's here. Dun, da, da, da. Maybe he's here. Yeah, there he is.
I'm here.
Can't believe you actually made it on, dude. We may even go another hour. Who's up for it?
I tell you, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it or not. I had a class reunion that.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about some stuff on the way up to it. Hang on 1 second.
I need more light.
Okay. I haven't seen these people either A, since high school, or B, since the last class reunion. Okay. So none of them have ever met me. Just me.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I've known these people, since I started school, kindergarten, when I was 6, I have had an entity inside of me helping me to make decisions, speaking words, hearing things.
Yeah.
Making decisions for me. Now it's just me. So I paid attention to the energy when I went in there. And I just sat. I talked to some people. Everybody was different. It's like I didn't know who they were. And some of them looked at me like, who is that? And it's not just because we haven't seen each other. I haven't changed that much since high school. I got a few more wrinkles, don't get me wrong. But
Howard just disappeared like that Homer Simpson meme.
I'm here.
the last reunion, I was voted the least to have changed since high school. Everybody knows who I am. But they were looking at me like they did not know who I was. And I think that is the difference. There's a difference in my energy. There's a difference in the way I carry myself now. And they didn't know what to do, what to say, how to approach. And I just kind of had enough people all of a sudden. Spirit said it's time to go. And so I said goodbye to a couple of people after we did the class picture. And I walked to my truck and I got in and I came home. Did I have a good time? Yeah. Good meal? Yeah. Had a couple beers? Cool. Talked to a couple people? Cool. It's enough people in tonight. See y'all next reunion.
Right. Kenny's asking, what year did you graduate?
Me, 1988. Sex is heaven, beer is great. We're the class of 88.
Kenny's 87.
I won't tell you how old I was in 1988.
Oh, you are a youngin'.
Yeah, I graduated in 96.
You are a youngin'.
I'm the baby.
So about 8 years difference?
Well, for you, yeah, because you're 53,
I'm 53.
right? Yeah.
Lisa 84. Oh, damn.
Hey, you.
Look at you. She's like, look, I'm a proud 84. Lisa Kirk said, hey.
And for 53, I don't clean up too bad. Just saying. I
No,
might be
you did
tooting my
pretty
own
good.
horn here, but
You still got your hair.
And I dressed myself tonight. I wasn't sure
Oh.
about the shirt, so I asked. I reached out to somebody for an opinion. I'm like, nah, you know what? I'm good. I'm just going. So if anybody looked at me at the reunion and said, your mama dresses you funny, I'm like, well, no, it's me. I do it.
I had one too many beers. Hey, I got some Peach Crown Royal in there.
Absolutely
Damn.
love to see a fellow deep thinking hair farmer.
Love it. Love it.
Lisa says you clean up pretty good there, Great Keith.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I guess you guys and Dwayne all lit a cigarette at the same time. I used to. I don't have them anymore. But yeah.
Well, I plan on quitting. I do. I've said it for a long time, but it needs to happen just because I want it to happen.
Yeah. I got it. It's got to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa's going, I got pineapple wine. Oh, my God. That stuff is good. Pineapple wine.
I've never had that. That does sound good.
Oh, it is
I'm
so
allergic to
good.
pineapple, so that's not going to happen.
Oh, what daggone.
And wine makes me, and tequila make me an angry person.
Yeah, tequila makes me stoned.
Bail money.
Yeah, I see. It's like acid for me.
Tequila makes my clothes fall off. Just saying.
It makes you happy. So Keith, man, you're in the house now, and we know how you are about phase and skinwalkers and all that.
Yeah.
So glad you popped on. We can go a little longer now because none of us have anywhere to go.
I was listening to y'all on the way down. I tried to get into the studio on the phone. It wasn't working. I was there, but evidently it didn't let you know. But I got on here and just jumped in the studio. I'm like, screw it. Let's jump on and have some fun.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of your opinions that you were throwing out.
I'm going to let y'all talk for a second. I'm going to move so people can see my crazy ass. Hey, Ray.
Let's see that pretty face.
Oh, by the way, we got a new show. Keith, we're coming up with a new show.
The Firefly Chronicles.
Ooh. I like the sound of that.
It's going to be about all the unusual and crazy things around the world and things we come across.
I like it.
It's inspired by Bray Wyatt,
Hey, Raymond. Go. Love you, brother.
All right, y'all keep talking. I'm going to move in here so people can see my crazy ass.
Dwayne, I see your comment. I'm 53. I got 5 years to go. I'm good.
also said, let's not forget that everything is connected, which that's true because that's energy. Energy can't be created or destroyed. It merely exists, and it seems like we're all just connected. All through what?
And
a cigarette.
Stating that energy cannot be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, our body runs on energy, electricity, chemical energy. So when we die, where does that go? It goes into the soul. It transforms. It does not get destroyed. It transforms. Just like ice, it melts into a liquid. It transforms. It evaporates into a gas. It transforms. Our energy in our body transforms into our light. We are light bodies. Oh, you're going to get me deep quick.
Well, let's catch up because it's been deep.
You know, you were talking about the Mothman.
Yes.
And a lot of that I agree with, because one of the theories is, you know, once that first person made that statement, I saw this, then people started believing, and then more sightings, and then more people started believing, and then more sightings, and then weird coinkydinks. So the power of manifestation is huge. Now, can I think something? I want a beer in this hand right now and make it happen. If I do the work, if I pick it up from over here and put it here, you're dang right I can. Can I just magically make one appear? No. I have to do the work in order to make that to happen. If I want to manifest a new car, guess what? I got to go out. I got to work. I got to save my money so I can go buy one. Yeah. Once you can manifest them. It's good to want to manifest something in your life.
Yep.
But you got to do the work. You know, I want to manifest a new relationship when I'm ready, but I had to do the work. I'm still doing the work, and I will continue to do the work even after I find that relationship.
Yep.
I'm saying that for a specific reason. I am still learning to be human. Sometimes I need patience. I can give patience. Is something I've learned. Do I still get impatient? You're damn right I do. I'm a Scorpio.
Well,
Give it to me now.
That's what I said. That's where our humanity comes in to play.
Yeah.
Our human meat suit that we live in.
Yeah, we are light bodies having a human experience. I am learning to be human. I'm slowly becoming the person that I'm meant to be instead of the person who I became, who I don't like. Wow, I squirreled.
That's okay, because you know it's all right.
Ooh, did y'all see me walk in on that? That was pretty cool. Sorry, y'all.
It was pretty cool.
Right. I see your comment there. You know, you're on Mountain Dew for 31 years. You know, I was addicted to that stuff too. That's why my teeth are so dang bad.
Kenny's the reason behind the movie. He's all jacked up on Dew.
Yeah.
Oh, jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I tried to quit, and I finally gave up quitting. And then all of a sudden, one day, I picked one up. It tasted like crap.
Thank you.
And I was done. It's the same way with these. When it's time, I'm just going to be done. That's when I know it's going to be time. I'm done.
How do I say this? I just manifested a drink.
The power of love.
That's the hubby. Who, my hubby up here, see, like in Connecticut, so you'd think because it's the East Coast and you'd think that there's a lot of Bigfoot stories up here. My husband has seen Bigfoot as a kid.
I actually think I have too here in Nebraska, just outside of Wymore. It was big. It was crouched down in a field, not more than 100 yards off the side of the highway. I'm looking at it, I'm watching it, and it jumps up 2 legs and runs off. Fur, tall, and then poof, just like it went into a different dimension. You know, that's why one of the reasons why I believe it could be an interdimensional being jumping back and forth, just like Loch Ness. There's a theory that there's an energy portal under there. It's going back and forth between time. Yeah, so when they're looking for it, it's not here.
True. Read what Dwayne just said. He's got a valid point. I think, Keith, you already touched on this at one time before.
Mothman, straight up horse pucky. That was one-off thing that was slowly developed into what it is today. There was no internet then, so the story could culminate within its own community. Well, that's what it did. It spread from person to person.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there's also how things manifest. Enough people believe in the same thing, it can be manifested. People can. I think you touched on this earlier. People can manifest their own entities.
Yep.
They can manifest their own hauntings. They
Because
can
that's
manufacture their own tulpas.
Yep.
I've done it, and it was a bitch to take out. Let me tell you.
You know, that's just like with. I mean, I'll piggyback off of Dustin on spirit mechanics. Frogman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, Frogman is the same.
Hey, baby.
It's like it's there. I mean, and you haven't really ever heard any of really sightings since then. One person.
No.
But
when he mentioned it, that's the first I'd ever heard of a frogman.
And that's the first I had ever heard of Frogman either.
I'm the frogman. Do.
You know, and that's like because we were talking about TV and how he talking about how he doesn't like so much like Bigfoot and then like the horror movies, because then it starts into your psyche about things when you're out somewhere and you're going, wait a minute, could that have been? Because you're remembering bits and pieces. I mean, as much as I
baby
love anything paranormal and I will watch stuff on TV, like my favorite, honestly, if anybody's seen it, it's Mountain Men.
Mm-hmm.
I do love that show.
I don't think I've ever seen that, but I'm going to hit on Dwayne's comment real quick. I think what he was trying to relate is when he was a child.
Yeah, when he was a child.
Saw Bigfoot. He saw a Bigfoot child.
Yeah. He saw in his backyard. It was a real snowy, bad snowstorm. I want to say it was like the mid 80s. He lived in a real small housing development that's out in the middle of the woods, and he looked out his back door, which he had the screen door, and they had the old farmer style like boundary lines that you would add back then of the rock piles. And he said, it didn't even, and it was walking in stride, just walked up over, and he said that's at least, a 4.5, 5 foot wall, and just walked right over it. Just kept going, and he went out that door. He went running, and it went poof. And just like you just saw, like he followed the prints, and then they just stopped.
Yeah, and Lisa touched on another very common fact about Bigfoot sightings. Sometimes you don't see, but she was on investigation around 2 a.m. Tree knocking, that is the thing with them. And them actually throwing rocks and gravel at you is another thing. I said, hey, I'm here. This is my territory. Back up. That
was my experience. That was my experience. And ironically, Kenny is now talking about Ashland, where I had my experience with the gentleman who was supposed to be on tonight. We both had this experience together, but he's had plenty of experiences prior. We were out at this location at 2:00 in the morning, and we had just finished a paranormal investigation. Okay. Research on a particular Civil War railroad track. I will leave it at that because I'm not out to get in trouble with the government. But but we're out there, and everybody had already left. He and I are just sitting on the back of the truck, smoking a cigarette, talking. And we heard a dog at first. Now, the dog's bark was very unusual. All right. It was like a distress. And Jimmy looked at me and goes, Are you feeling a little like we're being watched? As soon as he said that, you could hear movement in the tree line behind us, which is probably about 75 yards away. And I was like, I really have. And then as soon as we started talking, pop, pop, pop on a tree. Now, okay, let me lead you up to this night. We had taken a digital recorder and put it on the cross crossway for the railroad track with electrical tape, black electrical tape away from the road, taped it up. We found that digital recorder ripped off and thrown on the ground. Can't explain that. There were other things that I can't explain about that night either. But I know from that point at 2:00 in the morning till 2:20, we heard tree knocking. We heard like it sounded like a voice, a man's voice, but it was groggling. So I was like, and then of course we had that dog, and then we felt motion going through the woods. He goes, dude, I feel like we're being stalked. I'm like, I know damn well we are. It's something out there. Good. Now, hold on. Let's not jump to conclusions. Could it have been a bear? Yes. Okay. Could it have been a bobcat? Possibly. Okay. So I want to make sure we take everything out of it. But he'll tell you to this day, damn no won't. Now, in the same location where I'm referring to, there's a trailer park. My XO on the team, when she grew up, she said she had an encounter with Bigfoot. She was living in this double wide trailer that was jacked off the ground, the whole nine. And she said that one evening at dusk, interesting, she turned and looked at the window, and there was a Bigfoot looking through the damn window. Clear as day, standing right in the window, face and everything, looking at her. Now, Ashland's a train town. It's where Randolph-Macon College is. So this is not a non-populated town. This is actually a very populated small town.
Okay.
And here we are. If you take the experience of what Britt experienced, what Kenny actually talked about the Mothman statue, and then you take the experience of Jimmy and I had twice out in the same location, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a lot to what's out there. Yeah, I just want to share that. I always believed that was a flesh and blood. Yeah, it's in my gut tells me that it's an extraterrestrial pet that's getting dropped off on a planet Earth and a dog park. And I get you, and I understand your point. But any crazier than any other theory? No, it's not. And that's the thing that you're exactly right, Dwayne. Exactly right. It's not any crazier than any paranormal theory, chupacabra, Jersey Devil, skunk ape. Okay, let's talk about the different types real quick. It's only 10:08.
Good.
So, I mean, I know I'm getting ready to get my coffee too. I will have to get out of here at 11 because little Missy's got to go pee.
Yeah.
But Dwayne's like $6 million man episodes. Kenny's right.
He did go up against Bigfoot.
We're going out in a few minutes. And you know what? I just might take her out and let y'all talk in a minute. You gotta calm down. That she heard me talking. I may have to let y'all talk for a few minutes.
All right. Do what you need to do, man.
Yeah.
But the different types. I mean, supposedly different types. Now, we all have cousins. So why can't they?
Exactly.
There's different species of wolf. There's different species of squirrel. There's different species of monkey. There's different species of gorilla. There's different species of cats.
Yeah.
Why couldn't there be different species from different parts of the planet?
There's
Just
different
like
species of
humans
human.
Yep.
in different. Yeah. See, that's the thing. They don't differentiate species in humans. We are considered one race, one species. However, there are notable differences.
Yes.
Even in the DNA. So why are not we denoted as separate species? Dogs. They all have similar looks. However, there are definitive differences. Did they all come from the wolf? Pretty much.
Pretty much.
All from the same ancestor and evolved differently. you can have the same type of animal have a small island split off the main chunk. Okay. So there's not as much food, there's not as much water. This is proven. There, I can't remember what it might be, like a pygmy hippopotamus or something. But that animal got smaller on the island. It's the same species, it just got smaller. It adapted to its environment.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. I mean, that's the only difference. Okay, Dwayne has got a good point. He's saying real things. We're getting back to the splitting and not segregation. It's really not that. It's more of the fact that we have to take our environmental effects on us. We're not different as far as our makeup, all right? But there's black skin, red skin, yellow skin, white skin. They're big, small, large. Asian people. Well, because the reason we're different is because of what you just said. Our environment. If you take a fish and put it in a small tank, it'll stay small. If you put that same fish in a big tank, it will get bigger.
Exactly.
Yes.
Science.
I mean, we can talk about science. We can talk about blue-eyed people are all related, and it's been proven fact. We all come from the same ancestor.
It was a genetic mutation.
Yep.
It's a genetic mutation. We are
because
all
blue eyes were never a thing. It was brown and green, like brown and green were but the blue.
And then you bring in the depigmentation of colorization where the eye colors change.
Yep.
Brown to green.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's different too.
Blue to green. Blue to gray.
Or blue to gray. My eyes as a kid were steel blue gray.
Mine were shit brown. And now
we all know what people say about brown-eyed people. I'm joking.
Yeah, I know.
Mine change according to my mood. If I am on fire and happy and raring to go, they are the most beautiful blue you've ever seen. Steve's even said. But if I'm down, if I'm having a rough time, if there's a lot on my mind, they get a little grayer. Now, when that thing was inside me, they were slate gray. There was no blue left. And then when Steve pulled it out of me, boom, my blue was back. So I get the color changes. It can be mood. It can be this, that, the other thing. But genetics do have a part to play in it.
Exactly.
And I noticed a lot of blue-eyed people kind of switch to green also, or from green to a bluish green.
My son's gone to hazel.
Yeah.
Y'all got this for a second?
Yeah.
Let me take this girl out before she pees on the floor.
Do it, man. Do it. Lisa brought up a good point. Humans can't be classified into different species because then we would know that not all of us originate from this planet. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and agree with this statement. I do believe that we have alien DNA, at least some of us. Mm-hmm. I do believe that we were partly manufactured as a slave race because of a lot of different stories that are told in many different languages and races. And then all of a sudden, we have definitive slices in our DNA that scientists cannot explain. And our lifespan goes from a Sumerian king ruling from 1,200 years down to Noah living for 300 years, down to us living 70 years.
Quantities of the numbers. I'm giving you the numbers. 1, 1, 2, 5.
We started getting too strong, too smart. They didn't want us to live as long, to learn as much.
1, 1.
That's my opinion. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
It's up to you. But there are tablets that state this Sumerian king ruled for this 1,200 years. This Sumerian king ruled for this 1,000 years. If they weren't actually alive, why would they put that into the history?
Mm-hmm.
We keep strict track of our presidents. Abe Lincoln ruled for this long.
Yep.
Gerald Ford ruled for this long. I'm not picking on any of them.
Oh, what is it?
Every society keeps track of its leaders. So how could a human being live for 1,200 years? How could Noah live for 300?
Oh my goodness, sarcastic sleeping. That's a lot of
And, you know, I think Noah was a real person. It was a divided family of either David or Daniel. I can't remember which one. One went with spirit, one went with the evil creator God. And I'm getting deep, and I'm going to confuse a lot of people, and I don't care. But every religion, air quotes, has a flood story.
Yep.
We have evidence of the world flooding. Nebraska used to be an ocean at one time. It was a thing. But there was some kind of natural disaster that flooded the earth, and it was probably an asteroid hitting the ocean or an earthquake so big that it made a huge tsunami that flooded everything. There are civilizations that have been lost. There are tales of some evidence of how many civilizations have we lost. All the evidence. Your plates, tectonic plates.
Yep.
One goes under, one goes up. This gets melted. This gets eroded.
Yep.
How many times have we been here? How many times have we done this? Seriously.
Exactly. That's what you have to look at it. I mean, how does a whole race of or tribe of people, the Aztecs, they just pick up and they just left?
Okay.
Poof.
Poof.
The Atlanteans. Poof.
Poof. Thank you for that reminder. Thank you for that reminder.
That's another reason why. That's another reason why I said poof. You know, it's. I mean, we can get even crazier. Some people say that. I mean, granted, yes. I don't. Could it be plausible? Yes. Some people say we didn't come from apes. Some people say we came out of the ocean.
Yeah. Some people say the earth is flat. Some people say the earth is round.
I mean, could there be possibilities? Why not?
Well, the ocean. We don't know half of what's in that ocean.
Mm-hmm.
We know more about space than what we know about the ocean.
Yep.
Scientists will even admit that. The octopus, they honestly believe, due to its DNA, that it came from elsewhere somehow. Got frozen in an comet hit, and boom, the DNA was dispersed, and here we have the octopus. They can change color. They can change form. They are intelligent. You put them in a jar, screw the lid on with the hole out the lid. It will reach its arm out, unscrew that lid because it watched you screw it on, and it will come out.
Yep. Octopuses freak me out.
Intelligent. Dwayne, I'm not sure what you mean by that last comment. Well, pole shift is a possibility. Absolutely a possibility. And that's something we're looking at in the future. The poles are shifting faster than they have in decades, and we are actually we're behind when they should have shifted. And there's evidence of the
magnetic pole. Yeah, the magnetic poles.
The rocks, it switched from positive to negative.
I think
when these shifts happen.
Read something or saw something about when the poles flip that in actuality Pangea might come back together. I think I have to don't quote me on it. I think I remember reading and seeing something about possibly it coming back together, like that we are moving.
I suppose it's possible.
I mean,
it's
anything's possible.
But Pangaea is a thing. You can fit all the countries like a puzzle together.
Yep.
Except for where, they may have been pushed up from mountains and there's a bit missing. We might have
Yeah.
a lake there or something.
Exactly.
But yeah, they fit together like the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. That's why we have marsupials here in the United States as well as Australia.
Yep.
Possums. It is the only marsupial here in the States, but it is a marsupial.
Exactly. It's a cousin. See, and we were talking about cousins before, just like Bigfoot. There are, there's reports of albino ones, there's points of red ones, black ones, brown ones. You know what I mean? They're all different
Yeti,
shades of
adapted
red
for
with
cold
brown
living.
mixed in. I mean, there's all kinds. I mean, it's insane what they have reported and what they say.
The skunk ape, adapted for life in the swamp. The Yeti, adapted for life in the extreme cold, just like a polar bear. Just saying.
Exactly.
They say, but there's not enough food up there for Yetis. Well, there's enough food up there for polar bears. You feel better, man?
Oh, yeah, she feels much better. Sorry about that, you guys. I appreciate
No
that.
problem.
Sarah says, hello. Hope y'all are having fun. That's a good point. Possible from the war where the land is broke. He said that actually at the beginning. It's a valid point. I can see where he's coming from. Howie, the way you disappear and reappear when you're walking around makes me think of Bigfoot in the way. You know what?
Yeah, absolutely.
But see, and then the natives, that's how they viewed him.
Yeah, shapeshifter.
That they were thinking that he's like he's just a spirit that's walking through time.
Interdimensional
being. I mean, a lot of natives and reports of that. You're going back to like the 1800s. I mean, the Native Americans were talking about them 1800, 1900 on cliff walls.
Okay, Aztecs have glyphs of a man in a rocket ship maneuvering the rocket ship.
Yeah.
Okay, Japan, China, they're dragons. Where those rockets would look like a dragon with fire. Possibility. India has stories of nuclear wars and floating ships shooting lightning bolts, laser beams. You can't make this stuff up. It's there. It exists.
I like that.
We have lost so much history that we will never get back.
Mhm.
It's crazy. We don't know anything about ourselves.
Here's the thing.
Nothing.
All right. We say that, but hold on, Brother Keith. Here's where I have to disagree with you.
Okay.
It's not lost. It's just not allowed.
I like that. Good
Or
point.
we're made to believe that it's lost because it's conveniently housed with a road that's made out of gold, and we all know where the Golden Road leads to. Rome.
Supposedly too. Yeah.
Oz, no.
Well,
But,
yeah,
Rome.
Oz too, but
I like
Rome.
that.
Rome.
Now, okay. Now, if it's not there, I mean, boy, we're definitely shifting things tonight, and that's cool. If it is not, say it. If it's all right, I have to say if it's not. Same difference. Agreed. If it is not there, and we have been told the Library of Alexandria was destroyed, pardon me, what is the possibility? Because we found the scrolls in caves that weren't even close to where they were. They've already done what they needed to do. And possibly there's stuff that was at Solomon's Tower that no longer exists there.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
What if you try to bait me?
Yes. Yes. Feed me.
So there's the possibility that the Templar's treasure is actually somewhere completely different than where you would even possibly think it would be.
Ta-da! Thank you for that.
Now, let's flip around and look back at Egyptian times one more time. And I love the theory that Tesla and Einstein once again had agreed to, that the pyramids are not pyramids, but they're diamond shaped. It goes down just as far as it goes up.
Yep.
Okay.
Like a tree, you got roots
The
below,
island,
you have
right, Kenny? I don't think it's Oak Island. No, it's not Oak Island.
It's not in Nova Scotia.
It's not. No, I have my theories, just
Yeah.
like I have my theories about the Confederate money, etc. But don't you think there may be a reason why they're not fully excavating the Sphinx yet?
There is a vault below the Sphinx.
A lot of people believe that.
Yep.
It's in hieroglyphics.
Go deeper.
Yeah.
Go deeper. Now, speaking of which, this is the way I'm going to describe this.
How the hell did we get to hear from
a disclaimer out that this is in no way racist, okay? I just need to describe. In Africa, I believe, there is a group of black individuals, okay? A village, all blue-eyed. Now, here's the thing. They're Christian. Always have been. There are tales that the Ark of the Covenant was taken by these people to hide. They are charged with guarding it. Do I know if that's the truth? No, but that's the tale. But I do find it rather interesting and intriguing, and I'd like to know more about it.
Well, look at the Puritan Jew. There's a name for them. There is a classic form of Jewish rabbis or Jewish culture that actually exists in Ethiopia. Ironically, that's where we have a lot of crime coming out of right now, right? However, yeah, the Jewish Orthodox, boom, that are in Ethiopia. Now,
maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Maybe that's what you're thinking, because they here. Okay, wow, we're really going down the rabbit hole tonight, people. Strap in, because your ass is about to catch on fire. Now, we're going to revert this conversation real quick and go back. There it is. We're going to go back to saying something that I have said before. Isn't it hypocrisy for the church to claim that anyone that practices magic is a heretic?
When they do it too.
But, and here's the thing. Go ahead.
The first form of any form of style of what we consider magic, Wicca, whatever it may be, is actually Judean magic.
And this is when I have people of religion come to tell me that I am devil worshiping or I'm communing with Lucifer, big bad guy himself, when I'm buying crystals. Look in your Bible.
It's all through.
Amethyst, sandstone, garnet, diamonds, emeralds. They build their palaces out of this stuff. Rose quartz.
Yes.
It's in it.
Yes.
It's in it. So how can you tell me that what I'm doing is devil's work when palaces and cathedrals and places of worship were built and encrusted with all this? Yes, and King Solomon's rings. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Now, hold on. Let's stop for a second, because we just hit a crossroads. Because Robert decided to bring this subject out. Okay.
You heard it.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it again.
Mm-hmm. Fuck them
Spirits
fish. Sorry.
Talking.
Crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, There's a story, Howie.
Yeah.
So, out of the 7 rings, for those people who may understand the tale, may not, not all the rings are good. So, there's good and bad within these 7 rings. One of these rings can actually manipulate negative beings, it can control them. It has been given the power to control these beings.
What did he bring forth?
And what did he bring forth?
Demons.
Now, with saying that, I'm really gonna throw the whole twist of lime juice in this. Demons. He brought forth the demons. Okay, hold on. This is where it really gets good. What is a demon?
I'm glad I swallowed.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, you guys.
Swallow, Renee.
Where did that's what she said. Where 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 did we define what a demon looks like and where it comes from? The book, yes. But we also have another book. And I'm not going to say the name, but we'll say that it's the Book of Enoch.
Mm-hmm.
It finds another form of what this could possibly be. Now, he calls forth and may call on the demons. Their demons could be our aliens.
Or our angels. It depends on how
Our
you
angels,
look at
because our angels, everybody thinks our angels,
Demons
they
are
look
angels.
all white and they have beautiful white wings and they look beautiful.
No.
No, there's angels that one thing that's got like I think eyeballs all over it. I don't know which angel this is, but it's like short and it's got hairy and it's got eyeballs all over it. But it's an angel, and they're just also described in the book.
That's the angel of war.
There's different classifications of angels. You got your archangels. Everybody thinks they're the highest. No, they are not.
No.
Can I remember the name of them right now? No, I cannot. But there are different levels of angels. There are different levels and classifications of demons. There are also daemons who are similar to demons, look similar. However, they have a job to do here on Earth. They keep a balance. You run across them, they will be like, don't with me, I won't with you. I got a job to do.
Yep.
Cool. First time I saw one, I thought it was demonic. I'm like, Steve, no. He's like, I know. Just keep walking. Okay. So he told me about it. And then later on, I went back up and I said, hey, I understand, appreciate, you have my respect. I will not bother you. And this is like, cool, same. And it went back to work.
Right.
So when you're out investigating, when you're trying to clear a home, know what you're dealing with. If you don't know what you're dealing with, find out what you're dealing with and find out how to properly deal with it. Otherwise, you're going to
That's why I always say, get the homeowner when you get in there, ask the questions. Are you practicing? What religion? And get to know everything because everything is different. You know, like just because I'm a religious person, and my being who I believe the creator is, but I'll also pull from Celtic. I will also pull from Nordic. Yeah. I will pull from Native. I will Buddha. I'm everybody because how can it not be?
Yeah, if you're
until
dealing with
my dying day, I don't know what is up. I don't know what's. I don't downstairs. I was lucky enough to see.
Yes, Steve says the divine by any other name is still the divine. Mm-hmm. Okay. However, different people from different places in the world have different beliefs. Again, I'm going to touch on manifestation. They all believe in this. Therefore, they may be manifesting this. So we better find out about this and find out how to take care of this.
Are they
not? We're going to get our butts handed to us.
Yes, this will be the worst question
Yeah.
ever.
That's the
that
Why
thing.
does
being
everybody
said,
confuse the Bible with a history?
That's the thing. There's been so many books removed from the Bible to keep knowledge from us so that we do not realize that we are divine beings ourselves. We are creators. We create our own life every day. We make decisions every day. We manifest things in our life. We create things. We are created in the image of our creator. We are divine beings. They don't want us to know that. And the more people that understand this, the more they know they are being threatened. Therefore, they remove knowledge from our database. But some of us get knowledge from somewhere else.
I'm not being a church hater in this.
No, I'm not either.
I'm not trying to, what I'm about to say, I'm not trying to dispute, or I'm looking at something that's very interesting that truly has been brought to my attention once again, that it's only been in the last week or two. I believe in God. Now, that God, I cannot pronounce his name, nor do I know its name. Okay. There's two Bibles. It has been written over and over and over again. Okay.
Thank you.
Here's the thing. If you read the Old Testament comparatively to the New Testament, the Old Testament says it is an angry God, an evil God.
The evil creator God versus
Evil.
the spiritual light God, which
So
is
they
what I'm touching on between Noah and the other family.
I'm
right.
just going to state this real quick. As we're talking about this, my patron saint fell off my neck. Just going to say it.
You what?
My patron saint, the Morgan, just fell off my neck.
Imagine that.
You know what's really ironic? This is who I heard it from, is Morgan. That is interesting. He calls himself Morgan. And I did not put there it is. I did not put two and two together, and the mother of light. I did not put two and two together till I actually heard this, and I went, holy crap. Because Jesus does say, that is not are you referring to your God? You do not know me. You do not know where I come from. I am not my Father, but I come from the light. I come from the God who created light with no name. That the name is so brilliantly and so powerful it cannot be pronounced.
That he understood that we are divine. We are the light. He knew where we came from versus the evil creator God that flooded the earth, that killed everybody because we, quote, sinned. I heard that. I'll deal with you in a minute. He knew. He was a teacher. Most people take everything he said for granted as to that exact wording. No.
Oh, he was a divine being.
But he would say things and mean something completely different. You had to figure it out, kind of like Steve-isms.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, kind of like Howieisms at times, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yep.
Riddles.
7 days and 7 nights. 40 days, 40 nights.
11, 11.
11, 11. So we're talking about creatures and all that. This is very interesting when we live with creatures every day. We just don't even recognize the creature we're dealing with. Full circle. Bigfoot. It could very well be a classically 4D creature, species, just like all of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
However, frequency and tuning. Maybe they have learned or understand the vibrations and frequency to change so they can cloak themselves because we can't see or feel certain energies and frequencies.
Energetic camouflage. The
Mhm.
chameleon, the octopus, they can camouflage themselves very quickly to match their surroundings. There are other animals that can do this too. They can change their own color to mimic their surroundings. Why can't
Right.
it do it energetically?
Exact. That's yeah. I mean, look at guinea suits. My God, how many people forget the military uses it on a 24-hour basis?
Mm-hmm.
How hard is this to remember that? You can take a guinea man and put him in the middle of a field, and he's going to have a sniper rifle, and he's going to drop down, and you'll never see him.
Yeah,
He'll
it
go
will
get
bend the light around him.
right. Why are people so going? There's no such thing as Bigfoot, but you see a human being manipulate himself into a tree, into a bush, into a bump in the road.
Yep. Rocks. I mean, on a
And
rock cliff.
oh,
Anything.
holy crap! I just had a brain blast. When's the last time you seen human shit in the forest?
You don't.
Yep.
Why would you see Bigfoots?
It's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. All I'm saying is, I agree with Dwayne and what he said earlier. We do have to stay closed but open. There's difference.
Yep.
All we're doing is giving keys. This is a key show. This is a key show. Ooh, yeah. We're writing and delivering a message.
Yeehaw.
How you are absolutely awesome. Best
Be right
way
back.
to jump off the subject ever. Best sake to jump off the subject ever. I like that. I agree, Dwayne. The Council of Nace condensed the Bible. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
We as human species think we are the best. We definitely are not.
Mm-mm.
There is a creature out there that is better than us. There are creatures, there are species, there are humanoids that are far advanced of us. Maybe they want to eat us. Whatever. Sorry, just being honest.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. But
Somebody's got to be the apex predator.
yeah, there's remember what they said, you might be bad, but there is someone better than you out there
Yep.
all the time. It's the same thing, the same principle. Apex predator, whichever. There is the fact that there's other species and races out there in the universe, and we are the bitch colony, and we're acting like it right now, folks.
Mm-hmm.
We are acting the way the universe sees us, like a bunch of spoiled ass children, that it's all about me, me, me. And look at our government. It's doing the same thing. All of our government. I say government,
Yes.
not government. Government. Our religions, we're all spoiled. And technology, because and maybe this is why they didn't want it to come out too fast. Because it has spoiled us. It's made us lazy. It's made us incompetent in ways. And maybe that's the big push to get back in the woods.
Go back
Get
to
off
our
the woods.
roots. Get back to our roots.
Notice, since the sea thing came out and the lockdowns were put in place, how many more people are talking about holistic medicine,
Mhm.
gardens, growing your own food? What in nature can heal you versus what you can go buy off the shelf at the pharmacy?
Because they want to put you in a city all in one place so they know exactly what you're doing. They can control you. They can feed you. They can control the farms. They can deliver the food. They can harvest what they want to
Yep.
harvest.
What's in the food?
Okay, perfect example. Thank you for bringing that up. May I?
Yes.
Thank you. Can't believe we're actually going there a little further down the rabbit hole, folks. Here we go. Better
What's
get a
happened and nobody's seen
rope.
about
Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you, I'm not saying all of you, a lot of you may see meat in the market and see it wrapped. Okay. In that meat, you're seeing, oh, I love my blood meat. I hate to tell you, folks, the creature that may have been done to is completely bled out and hung out. There
Mhm.
is no blood.
Mhm.
Water.
Yeah. There
Red
MSG,
number 5.
red number 5, and melanoprotein, which is a protein that does help muscles grow and strengthen. Agreed. But on the opposite of that, there's MSG, and there's another type of preservative. So they kind of counterbalance themselves by what this is, but it's not blood. Please stop saying I like my meat bloody. There is no such thing unless you're completely doing it yourself.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what Keith said about what's in the food. Yeah, what is in the food? What's our food soaked in? It may still be meat, but what's it soaked in?
The dyes, every one of them is not safe, and a lot of them have been banned in other countries because they are not safe. Okay.
Mhm.
Yellow, red, blue, they all have different things that they do to our bodies, our brains. There are so many additives that raise or lower estrogen. They can manipulate the fertility of the human race in
Look
order.
at the rate of ED.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about.
It's significantly higher than it was 30 years ago.
Now, look at how
Meaning
many
men
people
40 and up.
look at how many people, and I mean you no disrespect. I'm not dogging you at all.
No.
Your lifestyle, cool. I'm good with it. But how many people now are thinking they are the opposite gender?
Oh, no, you're fine.
It's crazy. And I think it has a lot to do with what's in the food. I think it causes issues, health issues. I'm gonna say health issues, okay? And it needs to be addressed. If I don't have a problem with anybody. I don't. You do your thing, I do my thing. I'm good with that. But I'm worried about our species as a whole being able to reproduce. Just saying. I know that's a controversial subject, but this is
No.
kind of a controversial show.
No, hold on. I'm stepping up.
Bring it.
Okay.
That's
I
right.
am the father of a child that has a transgender issue.
Okay.
Before we go any further than that, I'm going to add something to what you said. See, y'all love this. This is how we roll. Y'all can talk all that shit when we're listening to y'all and we agree with you. This is what it's all about. Could it be not necessarily the food, but the shots given to the infants when they're first born?
Absolutely. That's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that. Thank you for that.
There's a
Absolutely.
reason.
Yeah.
They said my son had a heart attack or a stroke in the womb. Semi-palsy in the left hand and left leg. By the time she was 2, we knew she wasn't going to be the same. We knew because she started acting on the feminine side. 2 years old. So we knew, okay? Just all I'm saying. When she finally came out, looked at her and I kind of giggled and I said, "You're upset and you're talking about wanting to commit suicide? Why? We already knew. We all know." And she
accepted
looked at her head and went, "What?" Yeah, we already knew. You have been acting a certain way. You've shown the signs throughout. Yet it be because you're charismatic, grown by, you had me, your mother, your grandmother. Whatever we knew, okay?
Mhm.
So you take that. Now, this is the same child that was able to scream out through his mother's womb when he was 30 days away from birth.
That's
The-
interesting.
The day that my father passed, he actually screamed through his mother's womb when my father passed.
That's
And,
interesting.
and Robert's here. He was there. He heard it. So intriguing.
Mm.
There's
Well,
some
that is-
spirituality, but then there's some questionable.
That is intriguing because in order for a human to make noise, we need air.
Yeah, there's no.
However,
it's fluid.
spirits
Organic fluid.
who don't have air can talk to us. Therefore, maybe they talk to you spiritually.
All of
That
us
makes
in
sense.
the same room. 22 people. Could the
Good
fact.
job, special. The hair just raised up on my arms.
Oh, so there you go. Yes, true. And freak the entire family out. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
That child is special.
Could it have been possible that my father went through the child,
Very possible.
gave the
Very
ability to the
possible.
child to do this,
Jeez.
and we acknowledged and heard both voices, both personalities, and perhaps that energy burst is what gave my son the shrinkage of the right hemisphere, because this was going to be part of their lesson how to handle through life. Or
Very
it could have
possible.
been the energy effect that my father produced through. These are things that have come up. So we're talking spirituality, we're talking medicine, we're talking about real things. We're getting real. We're talking real right now. You want to
Yeah.
know real?
We're deep.
Very deep.
We're deep.
Told you I was taking Daniel the hole. This is very true.
Yeah,
Both are our
that's true. That's
grandparents.
true. Your grandparents were ministers.
Yeah.
Both of them. Both of them are Methodist
Yep.
preachers.
Yep.
So it's intriguing to me. And
And
I
I'm,
love that.
I'm Howie's ninth cousin.
Yep. And Kenny's.
And Kenny. Yep.
I'm in there somewhere.
Somewhere. I
Yeah.
haven't found it yet, but somewhere. Yep.
Well, here's the thing. This is intriguing. Thank you, Dwayne. And
Yes.
this is interesting because Robert, if you look at Keith, if you shrink his hair down really tight and bring up his goatee and mustache and it was black, he looks like grandfather Odell. He looks just like my grandfather, which is really weird. 'Cause I was like, so it's interesting, the linking. This is where we come down that hole of spirituality, bringing people together and connecting in the whole nine. So I'm intriguing, and we talked about this.
Yeah, the connection. You know, I sent you that picture, that road sign that one day of the town just outside of Wymore that is called Odell. Remember that?
Yep.
It's and how did I first meet you? I had just finished a series. I was going through my dark night of the soul. I was depressed. I was sitting on my couch, well, my old couch, watching my old TV. A series called Travelers, where people from the future would come back at the exact point a person now would die and take over their body in order to save the human race. Travelers. And then I'm on Facebook scrolling, and here I catch Howie's show. Welcome, travelers and those alike. I'm like, whoa, stop. I gotta talk to this guy. And that is how we met.
Yeah.
Spirit brought us together. And then Spirit gave us a break. And then Spirit brought us back.
We actually talked about that. We this morning on Love Shack, we talked about the whole breaking. What's the possibilities, the whole nine? What's it for? Well, short breaks, long breaks. Sometimes the breaks are needed because you need to follow your own path and your experience, bring your experience back to share that experience to help the collective grow.
And sometimes we just have to wait for truth to come out.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes we just have to wake the fuck up.
That too.
Go ahead. Drop it.
Absolutely. I needed to wake up. I did.
Yeah.
I needed to.
Yours was short and mine was long. Now, who really needed to wake up?
That's not something you should really be telling another guy, just saying.
You got a long one there.
He beat me to the punch, so I'm just gonna.
Hey, you got me 2 wonderful kids. I'm happy with it.
What are you beating over there, Renee?
Ain't beating anything.
What do we got here? And
There's
Dad was
somebody out
only
there
a child
giggling.
who served in World War II for 6 years. Why did Dad serve 6 years inward being only child? You know what? I never thought about that. Oh, I can tell you that why, Kenny. Because he was not drafted. He went in on his own accord.
Mm.
That's why. But good point. You know, there's a lot that I've learned about Dad in 8 years. So we're not even going to go that far. But yeah, good point, though. We all need to get out of the boxes we put ourselves in and get together on the same planet. Yeah, I totally agree.
Thank you, Dwayne.
The best 2 hours, awesome stuff, y'all. Thanks, Kenny.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Dwayne, Keith, you're absolutely awesome. Kenny, where you at, Lisa? I don't know. She probably took off. She's like, I can't. This show can really get deep. But that's why we're so open-minded. Again, it's not like the other shows. I mean, Love Shack has a tendency to be it, but Love Shack is more based on emotions and relationships. Here, the doors are damn swell open, and so is the rabbit hole. Both Lisas are here. She's like, I'm here.
Yep, they're here, both of them.
Lisa Kirk.
And
Okay.
Please pay no attention to that length thing that was talked about a little while ago. Just saying.
Okay. Yeah. Good point.
That just kind of slipped out.
Did it ever?
Oh my God.
That's what you get for a Sag hanging out with a Scorpio. Just saying.
Yeah, my Scorpio is rubbing off on you. Just saying.
Just saying.
We got to discuss that, and we got some Scorpio up here in the other corner too.
Mm-hmm.
Saying.
Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo,
Sagittarius, Cancer, Aries.
Scorpio, Aries, Sagittarius, water, double fire.
God, can you believe this crew? Right.
We are the wrecking crew. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
James T. Kirk.
Kirk's daughter.
Dude, careful. I don't want to upset anybody.
Scotty, beat me up.
I have no less than 25 jokes right on the deck. Not bad for a girl from Iowa. Oh, damn.
There we go.
And trust me, Kenny is not doing anything backwards because Kenny doesn't have social media. This is it. So how did he figure that one out? Anyway, we won't go any further than that.
Nope.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Meanwhile, back at Grandpa's ranch, while no, I'm not gonna stop.
And here we come full circle. Let's end it with Skinwalker Ranch.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about it. What the fuck?
I don't know a lot about it. I've looked at it a little bit. I do know there are a lot of things they can't explain that do happen there. They have caught the evidence. One of my theories is there is something in the ground that is allowing things to happen. Some kind of energy source, some kind of portal, ley line, what have you. It could be that is a point on this earth that is just natural energy. There are points like that all over the earth. There are unexplained things that happen in these points in the earth. I used to have them all up here. I don't anymore. But weird things happen that they can't explain. Like the Bermuda Triangle, for instance. Did it break because nothing's disappearing there anymore. Just saying. Did they break the Bermuda Triangle?
That we know
Did they
of.
break it or did they shut it off?
That we know of.
So Stargate?
Could be. Could be. They see things in the sky.
They broke
They
the
have-
damn triangle. They broke the triangle.
Oh God, no triangles. Oh my God, that's
There are
right.
all different kinds of things that happen at Skinwalker Ranch. It's not just paranormal. It's not just UFO. It's a lot of different things combined.
I kind of agree with Dwayne. Some of it may be bullshit.
Not wrong.
Mm.
Not wrong. But I do know people that have gone there and had experiences personally, people who I trust.
Now,
And that is my thing.
Now, Keith, I'm going to bring something up that Renee and I talked about at the beginning of the show. Because this kind of relates to Skinwalker Ranch right now. We're talking about Bigfoot earlier, Sasquatch, whatever.
Yeah,
Of course,
whatever.
there's evidence of some form of creature such as at Skinwalker Ranch, right?
Yeah.
I brought up the possibility, what if Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Ruko, the Rugu, Go, Skunk Ape is a bottom well dweller. Now, hint me out. Skinwalker Ranch doesn't have large set of woods. It's a plain. It has woods, but not a lot in Utah, okay? Not Utah, wherever it is. But it has mountain ranges, etc. Okay, it supposedly has high EMF readings and high frequencies and uranium. Okay. All right. The possibility, if, and I'm not even going to reptilian, please don't push me there. The possibility, if Bigfoot is a bottom dweller, would make perfect sense. If the ranch was there, sure, it'd have openings. We've got all different. We have paranormal, supernatural, spiritual, and ufology, along with cryptic, all at one place. That being Skinwalker Ranch, supposedly, allegedly. That's a good word, allegedly. And I'm not putting doubt. It's my personal opinion. So, is there a possibility that if Bigfoot's a bottom dweller, that it could be there? Sure,
could be.
Possibility. Could it be? See, and I know a lot of ley lines crossed there. That is true. I've watched the scientists that went in there, and in my opinion, they're star-strucken star scientists. They're not pure scientists, not real scientists.
Attention.
Yeah. And that's my opinion. So I'm sitting here going, all right, there's always an endless amount of possibilities. The place could be real, okay? Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
But to have everything happen in one place, there's got to be a reason why everything's connected then.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's like Wymore.
Yeah.
Wymore is haunted as, okay? Anywhere you go, there are spirits. Bigfoot sighting, UFO sightings, and 20 of the people at a party in the backyard all seeing it at the same time. What the is that?
I can hear Kenny saying that. Skinwalker Ranch.
This has my lights dim. This thing in the sky we saw was white, it was round, it was way high, and it went gone. What we know that we have right now, the human race and flying capabilities, cannot do what we saw this thing do. So,
why are we keep going to ufology? What if there's a possibility that is that spirit?
who knows what it could be?
Have you ever thought about that?
Could be. I mean,
yeah, it just popped in my head.
I mean, Skinwalker Ranch. Who's to say? Like we're going underground, dweller. I'm just gonna throw it out there because I've always been wondering. You have Project Paperclip, you have Project Blue Book, you have all these things. I mean, who's to say what's
Jekyll
down
Island.
under the ground that's working in cahoots with something else or some
The
other being.
horns, the horns and
Whereas-
mechanical sounds of 2012.
Area 51, most of it is underground.
Exactly. I mean, that's why I wanted to bring that up. That's why I brought that up. 2012 around the world. What if you have bottom drills going and they're making subways and pathways, and we already know that.
Okay. Here, not too long ago, very recently.
Got
Okay. There were blasts underground felt all around the world, including the Vatican, to the point smoke was coming up from the sewers.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Things were being blown up down there. There are stories of beings, also known as children that were not children, being brought up from down there and saved. Also talks of sex trafficked people, etc., all being brought up from these tunnels. They call them the dumbs.
Mhm.
Look it up. It's a thing. And then once a certain person was removed from office, quote, it all stopped. Interesting timing. Somebody saved a lot of things. Somebody destroyed a lot of things that should not have been going on underground. And when somebody comes back, I think more of that will happen. And the technology that we actually do have will probably be given to us. I'm praying and hoping.
All right. With that being said,
Disclosure.
Robert did, and I had a discussion, and things were leaked out about a week ago. Because the ironic of our disposition in our government right now, and because of certain things that have taken place, that there will be a quiet disclosure by the end of this year.
Yeah, I think so.
There will be a quiet disclosure. We'll find out if we're food. As far as our adrenal glands, are we a drug?
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out what the agenda solely will be.
That's a thing too. Another quote, conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it's conspiracy.
However, there's some truth to it.
I think there is some truth to it.
Look at how many conspiracy theories have been proven correct.
Mm-hmm. True.
I used to have a list of them. It burned up in the fire.
Ranch was there before. Yeah, that's right. It was owned by the Native Americans. He's right.
Yeah. Look at how many cave paintings of the ant-men.
Yeah.
And the people in spacesuits are.
Mm-hmm.
Back before civilization was even a thing. This was people living in caves, hunters, gatherers, drawing pictures of aliens and insect people, the Egyptians with the bird people and the cat people.
Again, go back to the Bible.
Yes.
They said there are others outside of the garden.
Mm-hmm.
It acknowledges other species outside of the human species.
Yes.
I'm just using that. And we can go past that. Look, why was the Book of Tao even written? Wow, that's an interesting thought, isn't it? Why was the book even written? And this predates the Bible. Tao is the oldest written scripted in the world. Why was it even written? Was the society getting that bad? Yeah.
Yeah, and the Christian religion all of a sudden appeared. What happened to everybody's souls before then? There was no heaven or hell, so what happened to the people's souls?
Actually, there still existed the underworld and the world of light, but they didn't say good and evil. It was not defined as good and evil. It was defined as dark and light.
Because what is Lucifer's name? What was he called? The Light
Lightbringer. I heard something from a man he calls himself Morg. I watch a lot of his videos.
Yep.
Man is amazing.
I love him. I watched him too.
We were just talking about that before you came on.
Mm-hmm.
He brought up something today. How can anything exist in nothing? I've thought about that. He actually made sense with it. It's mathematics. This is all mathematics. It's all numbers.
Agreed.
You have
Agreed, Dwayne.
0. There's a space in that 0, right?
That's right.
Okay. Positive integers and negative integers cancel themselves out to what? 0.
Right.
So positive, negative, it all balances out to 0. He went through and explained how everything and nothing can exist in the same space and come from the same nothing. It's interesting. It just had me glued to the screen, and I'm going to watch it again so I can embed it.
Now, I appreciate him because he's speaking quantum physics on a term that people can understand.
Yes.
This is not something new. This is quantum physics and what he's speaking as far as
this blonde can understand it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Edgar Casey, another good point. Tesla, Edgar Casey, good points,
Yep.
Kenny. But he's right. Tesla was right. See, and what this is the thing, and I said it before you came on, was Tesla and Einstein both said the exact same thing. To understand spiritual or the paranormal, rather, you have to understand science and spiritualism and be able to communicate and put them together. And
Yes.
that's the thing. And Morgan is right. I mean, on a lot of stuff, he was able to explain what I said earlier about the Bible and two gods, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we can still use the words gods, okay? Jehovah, it's not the same as light God, just saying.
Yep.
So, he's a different type of messenger, Morg is. But I don't think he's human. I know what he is. Yeah. He's got the blonde hair, blue eyes. I know exactly what he is.
Yeah.
I actually last week invited him to come on the show. He hasn't even looked at my request yet. And that's
See, I was going to invite him to come on to the Otter's Den as well.
Mhm.
I've sent an invitation out to Lori Ladd and some other people, and Lori Ladd's husband actually reached back out to me and said, "Hey, thank you for that. We'll consider it." Haven't heard anything back. Okay, no problem.
Go with the flow and see what happens.
Exactly.
There's a couple of things that are going to happen with this network. And we're just now at a medium point. We're about to expand and blow up again. I feel it and I see it. I know it. If something happened tonight, and we'll see if our sister accepts my invitation or not. We'll see. But we're in a state of constant change. And if you can harness the power of the change, you can do anything.
We have the ability to create our own life, our own future,
our own direction.
Yep.
Or our own destruction, if we so choose to.
It's all about choice. Agreed.
Free will. It is a thing. Yeah. Free will is a thing.
Yeah.
So it's saying
and don't take anybody's free will, people. Do not.
Exactly. I mean, we talked about cryptid. We acknowledge it. It's all there. Cryptid could be alien. It could be humanoid. It could be from somewhere else. May not exist. Could be a plane. We don't know. But I think tonight we opened up a lot of those rabbit holes for people to go and glance in and go, what if? And
Yeah.
really, that's all we've really ever
It
wanted
is.
to do. You know, make sure people have that ability to go, what if? And
I mean, my favorite TV show as a kid, and Leonard Nimoy starred in it. What was it called? What if?
What if?
no.
No. What was it
No.
called?
It was
In search of.
In search of. That's right.
Yes.
In search of.
Kenny's probably about to go right now in his chair. Yes.
I mean, when I found that show as God, how it's like
Y'all ready?
between like 8 and 10 years old.
In search of. Okay. Real people.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. In search of real people. Come on, Howie. Do you not?
There's one right here. There's one right here. Can you see it? Yes, I have.
Well, there was another one was Carl Sagan's Cosmos.
Cosmos. In search of. Project Blue Book.
Those
real
are
people.
not.
Damn it.
I know.
I can't.
It was a similar show to Real People. Monster Quest? No. But that was a good one. But no, this is 70s. Real People in. Come on. Robert. Come on.
There was one a horror actor was the host of, and I can't think of the name of it.
Are you talking about Ripley's?
Maybe
Unsolved Mysteries?
No.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Mysteries.
No.
That's what I'm thinking. Unsolved Mysteries.
Okay, Kenny, stop. We used to watch it. We would get Hardee's. It would be Real People. It would come on either before or after Real People. Oh, Dan Tarkinen. Come on. Hold on.
No, not
I'm
Twilight
doing
Zone.
Sarah.
To Google.
Was not Twilight Zone. No. I'm pretty sure Dan Tarkinen. TV show with Dan Tarkinen back in 1970s.
Hey, Peggy.
Vega, Daniel Boone. Nope. Oh, come on. Really?
Well, Dark Shadows was a good thing, too. I like that.
It's not giving me it. Damn it. Hey, Mama Peggy. Right now, it'll be there. Real People. Oh, my God. Peggy. What was the show back in the 70s that was like Real People? It wasn't, we're not talking about In Search Of, or we're not talking about Project Blue Book. GTS, Google that shit. Yeah, we were trying, but I couldn't find Outer Limits. It wasn't Outer Limits. No, it was like a talk show, but like Real People, but it was on a different network. Hey, Ryan, what's going on? To tell the truth? To tell the truth. To tell the truth? Is that it? Hold on. I think that might be it. Holy crap. I think Dwayne might have hit the jackpot. I don't know. To tell the truth. No, I don't want to tell the truth. All right, television panel show, which celebrity panels. I think that might be it. I think, good Lord, how many of us are right now going, hey, I wonder if, all right, 1969.
Because Gary Moore was the host.
Image. No.
That's before my time.
No.
I mean, they had reruns of stuff because obviously, if I know In Search of,
Okay, that's a funny you say that too. Try to find a rerun of Real People. Oh my God. It's like you can't find it.
No.
Holy shit. Ironic.
A lot of things that put the truth out are no longer in existence.
Yep. But to tell the truth, that's not the show, but that's close. Damn it, you guys. I'm surprised Kenny hasn't gone. Bleh. Everyone's kicking on. Yeah, it's getting late, and everybody's like, "Oh, look, they're still alive." Yeah, I at this time I can't remember. That's incredible. That's incredible. Thank you. I knew you would get it. That's incredible. Yep,
Is that it?
that was the other show. That's incredible. Real People, Project Blue Book, and In Search of, and Cosmos. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you.
oh
Kenny.
yeah, because it had Kathy Lee. Okay, now that I see this, yep, yes,
Yes.
Yes.
Kathy Lee Crosby
Kathy
was
Crosby.
in it. Yep, now because I saw the picture of who was in it. Yes. Oh, and that's
Yeah.
John Davidson. He was oh my God, what game show?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yep.
God, yes, yep.
Mandela effect.
Hey, Facebook user, there should be a link at the bottom of the chat to click. Click that link. It'll take you over to a restream thing. You click that gives permission for your name to be put up here, so that way we know who you are.
Yes. Not that we'll be on much longer, but
Exactly.
yes.
But that TV show, In Search of, that's what got my gears as a kid.
I think a lot. That's why I wanted
Just
to bring those shows
moving
up
like,
right now.
wow.
Those 4 to 5 shows are what
Mhm.
really inspired true paranormal researchers right now to get involved in the 80s.
It kicked me into looking for answers.
Oh, she's about to hit something.
I remember, I don't know who, but somebody had it was streaming
Hey,
In
Sarah.
Search of, and I can't remember who it was. Like maybe it was Hulu, but it came out of the vault for a little
maybe.
while, and because I was like, I was on, and I was like, and I clicked it, and it was like transport. I was eating like a kid eating popcorn with a notebook, writing down. Need to go to the library and get books about Mesopotamia. Need to go to the library and go get books about Atlantis. Like I remember that. So
Okay, so that's my Sarah. That's my Sarah. Okay, she's on her break.
that scared the crap out of it. Oh, some of them, yeah.
Yeah, Real People and That's Incredible both had certain things. I remember seeing my first ghost on That's Incredible because it was the hanging ghost, and they actually went into the bottom of the basement and they had the lady hanging. Do you remember that, Kenny? They had the lady hanging, and they had her on film. No, was it bullshit? I don't know, but that's where the first paranormal, other than In Search of. I remember that.
Speaking of bullshit, I could tell the story of my life, what I went through here in my house in Beatrice, and people would call bullshit.
True.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Valid
okay.
point.
It's your option to call bullshit.
Yeah.
I lived it. I went through it. I know. I believe.
Valid point.
People ask me, what happened to you? I tell the story. I tell the truth. This is my truth. It's not my job to convince you. It's not this TV show's to convince you. They are telling the story of what happened to this person. I am telling the story of what happened to this person. If you choose not to believe it, that's your option. Eventually, maybe you'll have something happen to you to where you'll believe. I hope it's a good thing and not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had a lot of bad things happen. And now I have a lot of good things happen. And I'm very grateful for that.
I said that this week. We need to be more grateful for the things we do have and not worry about what we've experienced in the bad things.
And I've also said appreciate.
This.
Be grateful.
See what I have here? I got a wall. I got a ceiling. I got a ceiling fan. I got a sign right over here that says everything's going to be all right. And I got one right above that says the Otter's Den. At one time, there was nothing in here. It was empty, bare block walls from the basement floor to the roof. It's a 2-story house with an attic. I manifested this, but I had to do the work.
You have to do the work.
Yep. You have
You
to
know,
do
you're
the
only
heavy
going to
lifting.
get paid.
You have to do the
Yeah,
heavy
I
lifting.
got
If you do not do the heavy lifting, nothing comes to fruition.
that.
You have
Very
to do,
true.
and
My healing journey. Our healing journeys.
Mhm.
If we did not do the work, we wouldn't be sitting right here today with as much growth as we have,
Mhm.
wishing well for other people instead of hating on them. I am grateful
Good
for
deal.
being able to sit here on the same screen, in my opinion, in the same room together, because there is no such thing as distance. I am grateful for this.
True. I agree. Kenny's Texas speech is all gone to crap. As a kid, Advil Hurry document
Amityville,
Amityville horror.
Amityville. I got my theories
Yeah.
about that too, because I live in the Northeast where a certain set of people are either looked at as gods in their right mind, with some people, or complete bullshit artists.
I can tell you from personal experience, and I will not say how or who,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that the individual who is making their fame from that right now is in my opinion, is a big piece of shit.
Yep. Agreed, because I know too.
I'd love to be able to sit down and have a discussion with that person.
So would I. So would I.
May happen.
Because it's not so much the house.
Now, I'm not saying what supposedly happened there didn't happen.
Yep.
Just like you're about to say.
Yep. It's so much the house. It's what's surrounded on the backside of the house.
Yes.
It's agua, people. Just to say it that way.
Water is energy.
Mm-hmm.
What happened in the water? What is out in that bay? What were we supposed to go out on a boat and look for?
Mm-hmm. And not only that, what was happening a quarter a mile down the road in the runoff ditch.
Yeah, and what was supposedly in the basement?
And
Wasn't there a well in the basement?
Yep, and there's a well in the basement. So
water.
That's just my opinion. My opinion. And I could see why Amityville would creep anybody out. It's a very well crafted, documented story. There's their evidence, which makes it look believable.
Yeah.
So
I'm
just from one of those camps because I'm from this area. So, and there's a lot of questions about a lot of things that they've done here.
Yeah.
So.
And it's okay to question.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Go out, no matter what we say here on the show. Okay. No matter what opinion that we individually give out, go out, do your own research.
Yep.
Learn for yourself. That is how you're going to learn the best. Make your own opinion.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Read. You can read, form your own opinion.
Yeah. And
so then when somebody asks you a question, you say, well, I read it in such and such and such that it was this, 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 and this.
Right. And it could be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to mention any names.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah, we won't. We'll leave it at that. Good point. Now, if we can just get your daughter on board. You'll see.
Who on board? It cut out.
I said, now if we could just get her daughter on board.
Ah, gotcha. Gotcha.
We shall see. Invitation's there. She knows she has a home. So Once again, I would say we have definitely covered some serious rabbit holes tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I think this has been a great show. It's been a long time since we've done a whole almost 2.5 hour show. And wow, StreamYard's probably going, fucking bastards. But, a lot of you have stayed here the whole time, and we truly appreciate Dwayne.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You guys.
Thank you.
If it wasn't for you, we couldn't do this. So thank you very much.
And it's like I said to about any of the shows. If you know a show's coming up, such as Paranormal Outlaws, get your questions ready.
Yep.
Because like we said, you guys are the guest in this show.
Yeah,
you
we'll talk.
guys, you texting people, you messaging people, you travelers are the guest here. We just get
And if we missed your question, ask it again. Eventually, one of us will see it.
Exactly. Dwayne does that, and I appreciate Dwayne for doing that.
Yep.
He will put it out 2 or 3 times if we miss it. Dwayne, I appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
We don't intentionally
It's
miss
not
it.
that we're ignoring your comments. Mm-hmm. It's that it's hard to get as deep as we do and also pay attention to every comment. Mm-hmm. It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, brother. I will talk to you tomorrow.
Night, Robert.
And just think this conversation all started with maybe by chance, I don't know, maybe not, of just finding something from the Washington National Air Guard.
Yes.
Government website.
That's right.
Disclosure.
Actually, this show started out with the inspiration of a new show. So, and then we moved into that. So you never know how this goes.
Exactly.
We'll go back and watch watching LSU win. Oh, go ahead with your self moment, Peggy.
Yeah. We manifested what we have right now.
Absolutely.
And we are manifesting more.
Good stuff.
I started out as a traveler, folks, just to let you guys know. I was a traveler.
There's a whole lot of room, a whole lot of time for new shows. Just saying.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of good things.
You got shoot it.
Can you name one person in this network that didn't start out as a traveler?
I did. I already had my own show, but I have learned so much, which has helped my show from watching your show. Mm-hmm. And it's only fitting that I bring the show to the network. Just saying.
And we appreciate that, trust. I mean, it's true.
I do too. I appreciate the trust and the wanting to help each other grow.
That's the thing I've been saying all day, and I'll say it again. I'm just giving opportunities for people who want to take that opportunity to be something, to do something. I'm giving you that chance. You don't want to take it? That's not going to hurt my feelings. I understand. We all have our own journeys. But to be a traveler, I think, is something very unique. I'm no different than everybody else. I'm a traveler too. I have my own surfboard. I'm doing my galaxy thing along beside everybody else.
Yep.
I'm just sharing my turtle logic.
Turtle.
Uh-oh. Keith must have found something.
It's something that he has.
Oh.
That I keep telling to him. Be the turtle.
Turtle. Oh, yes. Yes.
My reminder to slow down and be patient.
Mm-hmm. Slow down. Be aware. Listen. It's sometimes slower is better. You understand and comprehend better than you do with a fast pace.
Yeah, and there's been a couple of people that reminded me about patience and going slower. and waiting till everything is just right, also known as divine timing. So
Yes.
thank you to you both.
Because when you're slowing down,
I see that smile.
You can listen, not just hear. Because listening is way more important.
Divine timing. I live it when I hear people say, there's no such thing as time. And I'm going to chuckle to myself, and I'm going to allow you to your own opinions. And I'm not going to fly at you with my P-32 spice modulator.
That. Time is a thing manufactured by man, blah, 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 blah. I understand that.
It's true, but that's one type of time.
But when you're sitting somewhere waiting for something to happen, whether it be somebody getting out of an operating room or flicker or AC, okay, debunked, or waiting to hear on job interview, you experience time. Even if you don't believe in time, you experience it. You just won't admit to it.
Exactly.
Because you know something? Sometimes you just don't know.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Folks.
Good night.